With me now, Republican Senator James Lankford. He serves on Homeland Security Committee. It did hold a hearing today on threats to the homeland. Welcome to the show, Senator. Thanks for joining us. Your reaction to this?
It's a painful day to be able to track that for those individuals that are Americans that were killed today by the cartels. But we as Americans lose track. This is normal in many areas of Mexico right now. I've been raising this issue over and over again when ISIS was beheading people on the beach in orange jumpsuits, and all of the world turned their attention to what ISIS was doing there and was so ruthless. I kept reminding people that's what Mexican cartels are doing every day in Mexico to Mexican citizens. If you give information about them, if you tell their story, if you go to talk to police, or you are law enforcement in many areas in Mexico, you have beheadings, you have shootings, you have all these things going on to Mexican citizens. So there's a reason several of the states in Mexico have the exact same rating from the State Department as Yemen and Syria do, because those areas of Mexico are not run by the Mexican government, they're run by the cartels.
You know, sir, Senator, you just made an important point. The homicide rate per capita in Mexico is often higher than Middle Eastern countries. Sir, the president wants justice. He says the U.S. will help Mexico in cleaning out, quote, these monsters. How can the U.S. help here?
Well, we have helped in the past to be able to identify leadership of the cartels. The Mexican Navy, the Mexican military, they have moved in to be able to help identify those individuals and to be able to remove them from leadership of those cartels. But again, the drug cartels reform, they split, they have a fight with each other, and then the winner of those fights end up then taking even more drugs to the United States. So this has to be a focus of the Mexican government. They're trying something different. They're trying hugs. That is the new solution for the Mexican president, is for more hugs for the people that are in the cartels and more affection for those people, and to try to help keep them from going into gangs. But with the or the high unemployment, I should say, in some of those areas, and with having no central government action in those areas, it's very difficult to be able to engage with youth and keep them out of those cartels.
You know, Senator, to your point, your reaction to these other headlines of what it's like south of the border, they include headlines like this: the DEA agent who nabbed El Chapo shocked by Mexico's release of the drug lord's son after an ambush that killed at least 8 people, saying there's no police there. When then we have this: 13 Mexican police officers murdered by suspected cartel gunmen. And just this past weekend, we had another headline: a Border Patrol agent returning fire in New Mexico. He encountered gunshots at the border there. Sir, we also have things like drugs, fake counterfeit fentanyl. I mean, that's 100 times more deadly than heroin.
Right.
So that's now showing up on the American streets, and certainly in Massachusetts. Your reaction to all those headlines?
So again, this goes back to why President Trump has focused so much on the border, and to say we have got to secure our border, because the violence that's happening in Mexico, the drugs that are being produced in Mexico, whether that be fentanyl, whether that be methamphetamine, whether it be cocaine they smuggle in from South America, all those drugs, they're moving in through Mexico, and each individual that crosses the border illegally into the United States has to pay a fee to the cartels as well. So the more we have illegal immigration coming in the country, the more my Democratic colleagues continue to say this is not a problem, this is not an issue, they're empowering the cartels both with more money and more financing. So the real answers on this: we've got to be able to shut down the illegal trafficking across our border of drugs and of people. We've got to do enforcement going south from our border, because some of the cartels are coming into the United States, not only moving drugs, picking up guns and money, and then moving it back into Mexico. So we've got to do enforcement northbound and southbound coming in and out of Mexico, and to be able to continue to reinforce their military there to say, if you need intelligence information, we can help with that, but they have got to take responsibility.
Senator James Lankford, thank you so much for joining us, sir. Hope we see you soon.
Good deal. Thank you.